And we are live. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend and welcome to my face. So, you say what others think, I say your own assumptions. Common sticking point or common roadblock, hurdle, whatever word you want to use, that people come to me with is a worry, concern, or fear about what other people may think of them, particularly if they're going to start changing something in their life or moving in the direction of something they say they want. Often there's an underlying fear or concern of what others may think. Now, the fascinating thing for me with that is commonly it is not based upon actually getting that feedback. It's based upon our own assumptions of what the feedback could be. So what do we do about this? Do we sit behind our own assumptions and let those kind of determine what we're going to do? Or can we explore it? Can we test it? So I'm an advocate for the latter. Now we can kind of reverse engineer. We can explore, where do these assumptions come from? Where do these judgments of ourselves come from that we assume other people may have of us? And that's definitely valid. It's really useful to explore where we pick those up from. So we've then got an opportunity to, let's say, question whether it's true about us now. But when it becomes an assumption that we're holding all the time, it very easily turns into something we're trying to avoid based on our own imagination. There's a great term, past hurt informs future fear. A great teacher, I would say, or mentor that I'm really a fan of. He uses this. Past hurt informs future fear. So there's a few ways we can actually sort of test it, because my experience is people aren't necessarily concerned what other people think. Often what they're concerned about is other people will think about us in a way that we don't really want to admit we think about ourselves. So there's ways we can work on this, and then ways we can test whether or not it's true. So the working on it is done through looking at, well, where did we actually pick up those judgments about ourselves from? And we could look at questioning and challenging, is that true now? But if we want to explore it moving forwards, it takes a level of courage, in the sense we have to have a willingness, I would say, to ask, are you happy? Do you have the courage to ask the people that you assume judge you in a certain way whether or not that's true? My experience has been the only way that we can find out if the things we believe are true is to actually ask other people. In reference to what I'm talking about, in reference to our own assumptions. So if you're prepared, if you're actually prepared to step into that fire, to say to a person, I have this assumption that this is how you view me, or this is how you think about me, then you've got a chance to receive the feedback. Now, of course, you have to be able to deal with that feedback. You have to be able to sit with, okay, this is what someone else thinks about me. How important is that? And it will depend on, the importance of the relationship we're talking about here. But it's a really big sticking point for a lot of people. A really big sticking point, an assumption of what other people may think about them, or how other people may judge. Look, slipped over my own tongue there. Let me have a little drinky poos. That might help a little bit. So yeah, as I was saying, testing out our assumptions as opposed to sitting behind them. Are you willing to simply ask someone, is that how you think about me? Now, I understand it's not an easy thing to do, but it's a lot more difficult, in my experience, to just sit behind our own assumptions and let those assumptions become things that we avoid. So it's an important thing to look at and ask yourself, how much are you avoiding something based on your own assumption of it? Because fundamentally, this is what we're looking at. This is what we're exploring when we're talking about other people's judgments about us. A lot of the time, we don't even know, but we can very, very easily let those stop us from from doing something. So are you willing to test it? Are you willing to actually ask the question? And then are you willing to actually deal with the feedback, realize, okay, maybe that's true for that person, but does that mean that I see myself in that way? Okay. It's an important thing to look at. A lot of people, in my experience, do get stuck behind this assumption of what other people may think, but commonly it's hidden behind, I think other people are judging me, or I can tell other people are judging me. Let's use the word assimilate. Assimilate your assumptions, acknowledge your own assumptions, because once you see those, you've got an opportunity to test it. You've got an opportunity to actually get over the assumptions that you're sort of sitting behind. Hopefully that makes some sense. If you've got any questions, please let me know, and have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. Bye for now.